Boston Convention and Exhibition Center.
Yeah, so we was at South Station going to the movies or whatever. I think we was going to see Star Wars about 88. And Spitty, Little Keefy Weefy, Kyle, Kenny Thumb, Yvonne, we was in the I think South Station down in a tunnel on a tier waiting for the train. I think it was like going to the movies, see Star Wars, something like that. And we thought we had the safety things on us on a carriage stroller that Keith was in, and I think it said the train was coming, like 1 minute, and the stroller that Keith was in, somehow I think the carriage started rolling, like the restraints on the wheels wasn't on tight enough. It started rolling down a tier towards the tracks. And nobody really seen it at first. It was, moving slow. And then me and Kyle seen it. And then, everybody was just shocked. Nobody said nothing at first. And then I think my mother screamed and was like, Keith, get Keith. And then he was rolling. And he rolled all the way to the edge of the tier and hit like the yellow strip, and kind of like was falling out the carriage, and like the carriage and him just was about to go over the edge into the railroad tracks, But Kenny came out of nowhere and reached out and snatched him up and by his shirt, and the carriage, he grabbed that too, because it almost fell into the railroad, but he grabbed that and he grabbed Keith, and just as Keith was going was really in the air going into the tracks of the railroad, and the train was, you could see the train coming, approaching too. So if he did fall down there, Kenny would have had to jump down there, and the train would have had to try to stop. I mean, it was a little ways away. It wasn't that close. You could see it coming, but it was like at least like 300-400 feet away. So it would have had time to stop, and it wasn't going that fast anyway, because it was approaching to the station. But yeah, Kenny saved Keith's life for real at an early age. So Jesus had made Kenny a star, had made Kenny a hero. That's the kind of stuff that God is supposed to do. This is the real God, the real God that loves the people, that is helping the people. Okay. And back then I didn't see no trace of no Elohim or no devil, Lord, or none of that. None of that was around, and it was just not around. I'm telling you, like the demons and all that's here now in this Armageddon. It wasn't allowed to exist then. It was a quiet, good time, but things are peaceful. At this time, it wasn't all these guns and stuff like that. Niggas couldn't even get their hands on good guns and none of that, machine guns. Everybody had switchblades, bats, knives. Only certain niggas had like a handgun, access to guns and stuff like that. I mean, we did, like as the Kings, we had connects to the colonels, because we knew niggas that was in the army that got us that shit, but everybody didn't have it connects to that. So back then it was only switchblades, like old ladies getting, or people getting, citizens getting like robbed at the ATM in the bank. Wasn't even no ATMs back then. Robbed at the bank, with a switchblade. little punk crimes like that. You know, that's my, like, them white boys trying to like jump a black dude with like chains and all that stuff like that. It was real old school. You know, so it was a lot more peaceful back in the 80s than now. So it should be better now. Things are supposed to get better as things goes on. It should be better. But you know, Keith, those locks on his stroller came off, and he rolled about 10 feet before anybody was able to reach him, because everybody, number one, didn't see him at first. It was almost like the devil pushed him, took those locks off, because they were on. I remember, and he wasn't moving. The stroller couldn't move. Then it's like something invisible took him off, and he started rolling. You know, but I think it was God just trying to make Kenny a hero. Now that I think about it, because it was kind of crazy how he just started rolling, and the locks was on there. But he rolled about 10 feet, and he got all the way to the edge, and nobody couldn't really move. Everybody was in shock when they seen him rolling. But Kenny ran down there and caught Keith and pulled him up by his shirt. Okay, it was amazing, because Keith was in the air going into the tracks. Okay, he wasn't in the carriage at this point, so Kenny caught him right at the right time. So this is how powerful God is. He can premeditate a dream that Keith's gonna almost die, but if he wants to dream that somebody's gonna save him, it's gonna happen. You look at it and say, oh, Keith almost died, but it's like, not to God, because God already made the dream that he was not gonna die. If the devil had made this happen, God's power is already there to go over it, that the devil's doing, and bend reality back to what it's supposed to be. So this is the hands of the true God of goodness, who does good things. You know what I'm saying? So that's amazing. And now you understand how God works. And when a car accident happens, it's planned out and thought out by God or the devil, you know, and whoever's gonna survive is planned out. And you know, but if you see people getting killed and dying in accidents, then you wonder what's going on. Did God turn bad? What happened? Well, that's where you got to use your brain, and you be the judge of that. I'm not gonna tell you what's going on. You have to figure it out yourself. You know, there's a lot of dreams that God had where he saved people's lives, put them in calamity, and then saved their lives. And you wonder what happened, you know. But something definitely is going on, because Kenny saved Keith's, his little brother's life, and he deserves to be rewarded for that for the rest of his life. He deserved to get $1 million right there on the spot, truthfully. So that shit wasn't all that from God, because if you was gonna do something like that, then you should have gave Kenny $1 million and had the family rich. You should have caused Kenny to never get old, never get sick, and caused him to be able to do miracles after that. that's not what existence did. Kenny was molded into a thug nigga and a gangster, and became a crack dealer and a gunslinger and a gang member, and did a lot of jail time over foolishness, and had a girlfriend that was in the game and hustling, and and was running with a gang that was getting in the shootouts and the fights every day with other gangs. This is when thug life is real. Where gangs would fight over territory and the kind of hat you wore, and stuff like that. If you had a certain kind of hat, then you couldn't go to this area. It was like LA at that time. LA, big city of dreams. But and all in all, it's just corny. We were supposed to be at a different plateau now where things are peaceful and there's no more death and sickness, there's no more fights, and there's no more violence. And God spoke of this to me several times, but never was able to have this promise come true. And so somewhere along the line, he got sidetracked and went in the opposite direction, which is what it seems. Why the people who are following him, they continue to go in that direction. So they're the only ones that force against evil, and that's in the universe becomes them and becomes God with the people, and they truly are the ones in control of the earth and the world, and the universal God and Lord is not really in control anymore. Okay, he begs to differ, but I know I got proof that he's not in control of anything at all. He's just having different periodic inappropriate dreams against humans from here to here to there, and that's it. He's not helping out. He's just cutting up. So Kenny saved Keith's life, and he saved Kyle's life too, many times. He saved my life many times, So he saved a lot of people's lives. Daryl, everybody. So we owe Kenny thanks, and we owe him respect, and we want him to be resurrected very soon.